respected heads of the Central Election Commission, of the Electoral Complaints and Appeals Panel, of the Kosovo Judicial Council, of the State Prosecution Office, and of Kosovo Police, ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure to be with you this morning for the signing ceremony of a Memorandum of Cooperation between the main institutions dealing with the electoral process and with electoral justice. I'm truly delighted that all of your institutions have agreed to sign this memorandum. Since the beginning of this project on electoral justice implemented by D4D, a recurring recommendation was for the coordination and cooperation between electoral institutions to be expanded. Progress had been achieved already when, in the previous elections, a memorandum of cooperation was signed between these institutions for the electoral day. However, in order to make sure that this cooperation continued and was made permanent, it was recommended in a workshop organized by D4D and DRI, Democracy Reporting International, in November 2014, to make this cooperation permanent. With the signature of this Memorandum of Cooperation, this will now be the case, and I want to praise the institutions involved for your readiness to work together even more closely and to make sure that elections in Kosovo only get better. As you know, in Switzerland, voting is almost a routine gesture for citizens, because we have elections, but we also have referendums and initiatives, which means that we are regularly called to vote. Although Kosovo has a very different system, my wish is that going to vote in elections also becomes a normal and ordinary gesture in Kosovo, with no fear of intimidation, of buying votes, of stealing votes, or other kinds of fraud. Elections are an important link in the democratic chain, and if they are well organized, fair, and do not allow for electoral fraud, this sets a good basis for other strong democratic institutions. What happens after the elections is equally important, such as the formation of a government and the functioning of the parliament, but this is not the subject of today's event. The institutions represented here today can only act in their sphere of influence and make sure that with regards to the elections, they send a clear message to citizens and political parties that fraud and cheating is not an option. Adequate punishment of violations, the possibility to make a complaint, to obtain a hearing and receive adjudication within a reasonable time, all this helps build trust from the citizens and electors of Kosovo towards their institutions and participates in the consolidation of the state. I would like to thank our partner, Democracy for Development, for their strong commitment on this electoral adjudication project and for working in a constructive manner with all the institutions present today. And of course, I want to thank those institutions who are signing the memorandum for their commitment. I wish you a successful implementation of this Memorandum of Cooperation, and I hope that it will be useful to make sure that Kosovo elections will always be free, fair, and transparent.